Marlon, front here. First of all, congratulations on the victory. We can see some little bit of wear and tear on your face. So I guess just physically, how you feeling after a fight like that?
A little beat up. I defended all the things. That even though you're defending, it still kind of hurts. So, but I feel good. It feels like I was in a 3-round fight with a 3-time world champion.
Well, like just going off of that, a lot of this narrative leading into this card in general was how would Patchy Mix do. He's saying things, I'm looking through Mario. Corey Sandhagen's doing a Q&A, and people are asking him, like, oh, do you think Patchy Mix can skip the line and get the title shot with a win over you? I'm just curious, you said all the things leading up, like it doesn't bother me, this and that, but to get through Patchy Mix and just kind of dominated on the feet like that, just what are the emotions after that?
No, I feel good. He was saying he was looking through me, but the whole time I was thinking, well, I'm going to run through you. So, I don't know. I can't pay attention to that stuff because at the end of the day, we get in the cage. The words mean nothing, And I've trained hard for this fight, and that was pretty much it. I won.
And it seems like you had him scouted out pretty well. You were kind of connecting to the body a lot, and then as soon as his hands dropped, you kind of went up top, and he would throw that, signature standing knee, and you would kind of matador him out of the way. So just based on how you planned the fight out to how it actually played out, was just everything going exactly as you foresaw?
Yeah, it went pretty much the way we thought. Like, I have great coaches. Randy Sankey came up with a great game plan, John Crouch, and then Yachty. We had, 4 weeks since the opponent change? So we had to adjust, fairly quickly, and we did a great job. I have the best team in the world.
Did you feel like you compromised his eye pretty early? Because it feels like after those first few shots to the eye, he kept trying to wink it out. The commentary kept saying like it looks like he couldn't quite see.
Yeah, I think once I went southpaw and started landing that left hand, I knew I was, landing that shot to his eye. I mean, he also threw a head kick, and I think his toe went into my eye, so he gave it right back to me. But yeah, I think that had a lot to do with it.
And, you had the opponent change, but you're also supposed to fight kind of earlier in the year against Cheeto. That gets pushed, and then the opponent change again. Did this just feel like just one long fight camp with just multiple opponent changes, multiple date changes, and everything?
Yeah, it was a long camp. And then once we had the date change, I took a week off, got back to it to fight Cheeto. And then we had the opponent change. And then we had a change from offensive wrestling to more defense wrestling. But we're good at making adjustments, and we did a pretty good job.
And I guess, what do you want next for your career? Because the last time we saw you before tonight was all the way back in October. You might have to take some time off to heal, but, people were saying Patchy was going to be on the short list for a title shot. So I guess, what do you want next?
Definitely want a top 5. I think if Patchy won this fight, they would shoot him all the way into the top. So I think I took his spot and all that hype. So I definitely deserve a top 5. I'm on an 8-fight win streak, and there's no one else above me that has a streak like that except for the champion.
Are you going to ask for main events or anything like 5-round fights? Because we've seen you against former champions, but we haven't seen you in those 5 rounds yet.
Yeah, I would love a 5-round fight. I think, I have a great team, and we've done 5 rounds. We have Benson, who's done multiple 5-round fights. So I would love to do that. I think it'd be a great test for myself.
Being so deep in the UFC, which fighters did you look up to growing up?
I think started out watching Pride. I watched Rampage, Vanderlei Silva, Takanori Gomi, Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz, Uriah Faber, Dominic Cruz. When those 35ers were coming up, Mighty Mouse, all those guys, I really liked them.
Do you mimic your style after any of them?
I guess like Dominic, right? I don't think I look that good at all, but definitely like the stance switches and stuff. I think that was a turning point for the MMA community. A lot of stance switches and stuff. So those guys for sure.
Mario, right here. So, were you surprised at all at his level of grappling? I asked you before the fight about his level of grappling, and you were like, my grappling's good enough to prevent his, and you were right. But did it surprise you? Like, did you think that there was a better chance he would get you down?
No. I mean, I think my footwork, he just wouldn't be able to catch me to take me down at all. And I don't think he's good enough wrestler to get me down anyway. He's a great grappler, a great submission artist. If it was a jiu-jitsu match, Yeah, he might submit me, but that's not what this is. This is MMA. You get punched in the stomach, punched in the face a few times. You're just not that good anymore.
Yeah, did it feel like he came out a bit flat in the cage there? It seemed like his head movement was kind of completely off and that he wasn't moving his head at all and kind of just walking straight into your right hand.
This is Patchy Mix. He's a 3-time world champion. Let's not make him seem that he's flat-footed out there or like he came out flat and whatnot. He's a great fighter. This is a great win for me. So, I just beat one of the best in the world.
Hey, Mario, over here. Hi. Congratulations on the win. Throughout the process of this week, a lot was made over what's happened over the past year. And do you feel like that in the first round you came out and you wanted to prove anything to anybody, especially with like the pace that you came at in the beginning?
No, I wasn't going to prove anything to anyone. It's a totally different fight. If he was, a better striker or whatever, I probably would have held him up against the fence for 15 minutes. But he's a great submission artist, so I just decided to box him up.
You had 173 significant strikes, most of anyone on the card. Did you know that you were going to put up that kind of output?
Yeah, because I wasn't really going to do anything else. I wasn't going to really grapple him. I wasn't going to, play into his game. So there was nothing else to do but to, sock him up.
Thank you.
Mario, I know that going out there performing and winning fights is, what you're worried about, but do you expect, some more respect from this performance? Obviously, you got a lot of hate online last fight. I feel like this time you went out there, did what you did tonight. Do you think this is the fight where you think you should get some respect for your name?
I really don't worry about it, because even though I didn't even hold this guy at all against the cage, these guys are still booing, and I had the most significant strikes on the card, and they're still booing. So, and I don't really care to make them happy, So, I don't know. Well, whatever. I'm just gonna keep winning and keep moving up the rankings.
100%, man. Thank you.